Hello dear viewer, I'm leesusss, and welcome back to Viscera Cleanup Detail. I'm sorry it's taken me a while to get back to this one. I've been busy doing work stuff. Does this light even work anymore? Oh, I can't even move that one. Never mind. I think we're mostly done with a lot of it. There's some stuff up here to clean up. And of course carrying a light around because I didn't realise quite how dark things were in the game. But there you go. Yes, indeedy doody. But I think we're doing pretty well here. There's still some stuff to bring down. There's the barrels to bring down, the boxes. We're going to do some cleaning upstairs. Let's just go and do that rather than me wander around with a bloody glowing tube in front of my face. Did I come in here before? Oh! How did I miss this before? There's a whole room I missed before. Did no one told me? Why did no one tell me? Anyway, I've got that's exciting. Anyway, I thought I was done. That is less than exciting. That's kind of worrying. Hello, Hector Holbrooks. Get in there, Hector. Get in my PID machine. Anyway, so yeah, while I've been away doing. Can we open this? You never know. You never know with a fodder level. You alright, sir? How are your bones hanging together? What did this say? Oh, well, there you go. That answers part of it. Okay, well, this is interesting. I did say about a priest, didn't I? I did comment about that. Identification, hiding. The boss took a priest to the sorting room not long after there were horrific screams and the sound of metal chewing through flesh and bone. I want to hide in here until the machine stops. 3 days, I can still hear it walking around. It's like it's outside the building, but still very close. I need water. I tried to get out, but the door's jammed. Please bury me somewhere nice. I don't know, mate. I don't know if we'll be able to do that or not. Okay, so what I was going to tell you before I was interrupted by this useful sign was that one of the things I did while I was away was I read the book that this is based upon, which I wish I'd done before. There you go. Oh. Have you got something stuck in your head? What is... He's got... Is that feathers? What you got feathers in your head for, buddy? You loony. Maybe he's a Native American. Been working here. Anyway, what am I doing? Oh, I'm putting you in the furnace, aren't I? See, this is old man disease. I'm forgetting what I'm doing. Halfway down the stairs, and we still don't know what to do about these skulls, if we're going to keep them or not. I might like to keep one. I think I'll keep one. We'll test them later, if they're dirt or not. Yeah. So while I was away, I read the Stephen King story, the manga, on which this is based. Where's my box? It's here. Here you go, Boney. Oh, you're taking up more room in there than I expected. But never mind. Yes, I'm now worried it's going to be very dark in here again, but I can't do much about that. It's just dark in here. Sorry about that. Maybe you can use it as an aid to sleep. Oh God, gravity control. We'll push that. We'll have fun times with that in a minute. So we push that in a minute. Anyway, yeah, and I'm quite surprised about this because it was it's a short story, and it was part of Night Shift, I think, the collection of short stories by Musha King, and this is why I was surprised that I hadn't. I might have read it before, but I certainly don't remember it. It is the answer because this is exactly the sort of thing that I would read. You know, that's exactly a collection of short stories by Stephen King or other horror authors. Absolutely. I mean, I'd go down to the library every once a week or every other week on my bike. I would cycle to the local library and I would grab 4 books out, and that's exactly the sort of thing I would grab and devour, and then rapidly move on to something else. And after I'd read it, I had a vague feeling that I might have I've read it before, but not you know what it's like, not quite deja vu, but the feeling like I've read this before or not. Hard to tell. I'm not sure. Where was the bin dispenser? Because I can't remember. That's how long it's been since I've played. Bucket dispenser's down here somewhere. There we go. Bin dispensers. Yeah. small amount of guts. Anyway, yeah. So it was a good story. It didn't quite match. I mean, I ran through an idea of a story before, didn't I? In the last video, and the bit about the priest was a little bit closer to maybe what I was saying. But I think I was thinking more of a longer story than the short story. But it was pretty good though. I still enjoyed it a great deal. And just to give you an idea of what happened in it, just a quick run through to give you an idea of why I would have liked to have read it beforehand or remembered it, was you know, because I like to match up with the when Cannon Fodder makes these levels, he clearly has a very defined idea in mind of what was going on, and you can work it out. You know, if you sit there and you can work out, you can puzzle through the diorama to understand, you know, what was going through his head when he designed it. And it does work certainly with this story. So the story is not I postulated maybe it was a factory worker, like a new factory worker that had joined, and they were the ones that was as the guide through what was happening. But instead it's a cop. He's been summoned to a much like this, where's the rest of you? An industrial accident during what's happened, and it's a bit of a doozy as an accident. It's like a laundry company he's gone to visit, but not like a dry cleaners, more like an industrial laundry. You know, the sort of place where things like hotels and restaurants might send their stuff to get thoroughly washed. And the machine in question, the aforementioned mangler, is it's a press. It's a big press, and the thing is designed to steam and press into shape like tablecloths and sheets and things. You know, great big items. And it's done it to a person. It's someone's managed to get themselves fed into the machine, and you know, these industrial accidents happen. It's a terrible accident, but you know, these things can happen if machines are looked after properly. And that's what's happened. Someone's gotten pressed and folded at 300 degrees, which is, you know, best not to think about, quite frankly. But horrifying, you know. The machine has done its best. It's really given her a good folding, and this is horrifying. Everyone's obviously upset, you know. But it's something you report to the police. Fair enough. Fair enough. So gruesome, but yeah, not to belittle it, but you know, terrible things sometimes happen. But then the investigation goes further, and it turns out, well, it's not that the machine hasn't been maintained properly. What else is over here? Anything else over here that's interesting? I should wait for this one first, actually, before I forget about it. It's not that someone's been sloppy and let it, because I suggested that before, didn't I? The idea that the machine was maybe not being maintained properly. People are rushing. No, it's not that. The machine, in theory, works perfectly, and the guys who look at the machine to test it and make sure there's, you know, the root cause of what the accident was, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, there's a safety bar there, and it should prevent all chances of, you know, any terrible accidents happening. Shouldn't be possible. So that's ruled out, and you know, it's a bit of a mystery, and the character's foil for this is another cop who's talking about this. So they're just idly chatting about cases that have gone on. You know, the other cop wasn't at the scene, but he said about, you know, we've heard these sort of things before. Seasoned officer, you know, heard rumours before about, you know, accidents that shouldn't really happen, and just the idea that a machine can be, you know, cursed or possessed or something. You know, just weird goings on. The workplace stories that happen. You know, you maybe not as gruesome as that, but everywhere you work, there are workplace stories that get passed around. Maybe there's a kernel of truth, and maybe there isn't. But, you know, this is what is suggested, and the more it goes on, and the more people are worried about this and upset at what might be going on, the cop probes further, and you know, I actually don't quite remember how it gets as far as this, but the older cop starts to prod around with the idea that, you know, what if a machine actually can become possessed, you know, and as a scientifically minded person, you know, from the UK and or maybe someone else in Europe maybe would be thinking, it seems a bit far-fetched to jump straight from, you know, machine has done something weird to, oh, it could be possessed. But, you know, then again, you know, typical King stories are set back in, you know, often unnamed times in America, but, you know, the 50s or whatever, and America's a more accepting, it's a more religious country, it's a more accepting place of ghosts and things like that, so I guess the idea that this could be a thing doesn't strike them as so weird. It's just something they're investigating, and this older cop looks into, you know, the idea of things being possessed, and how does something even become, you know, accidentally, I guess in this case, cursed or possessed by a demon or something like that. And he's looked into it, and he's done a bit of amateur digging around. There's no priest involved. This is what I mean about interesting in this story. We have a priest. No priest involved this time. It's just a bit of amateur paranormal investigation, which of course couldn't ever possibly go wrong. Why would that ever go wrong? And you know, he's been digging around. He's been asking people in the more ethnic areas about this, and he's been looking into, you know, general stories on it and the idea of possession and what that means, and just said, you know, there is a possibility, it's a thing that could possibly happen, and you know, it's possible to deliberately cause a machine to be cursed by, you know, anointing it with different theoretically magical or folklore items that are considered things that are considered powerful in terms of, you know, magic and witchcraft and things like that. You know, for example, things like, you know, the old Shakespearean tale, you know, I have newt, wing of bat, you know, that kind of thing. And he says, you know, there's various things that could have caused it. So they start to have to poke around a bit more, curious by this, and they think of that lot of things that could have got into the machine. Come on, fella, let's get you down, shall we? And they rule a lot of matters. It's ridiculous, you know. But they said, you know, one of the people that got injured by the machine in the past was a young lady, you know, just out of college, and they're thinking the idea of blood of virgin is what they're thinking. And they, as part of the investigating the terrible accident, they are quizzing people, you know, of what's happened in the factory, and they go to see this lady, and they get as far as, you know, not lightly, but eventually bringing up the idea. So this is a really weird question for us to ask. But, you know, can you just tell us, if you don't mind? It would really help if you could tell us. Are you a virgin? And she's shocked by it, but eventually she says, you know, I'm saving myself for the right man. And they think, well, we might have something here. The way this machine, weird way this machine has been behaving, you know, maybe something's in it. Maybe there's something into this. Anything else around here? I don't think so. Should we test out this mad device? I mean, it's like it's a press, isn't it? Let's just don't mind me just walking into this. Oh, it's a boxer. It's designed to. That's why the boxer. It's to box up the robots before they're sent away. Ah, because we would all love to have more of these boxes, because we all love these boxes in Viscera Cleanup Detail. Bloody things. God, make more of those. Lovely. That's all it did. It just produced another box. What does this one do? Nothing. Wonderful. You've made something. Forget the machine crushing people. You've made something truly horrifying here. Well done. More of those bloody boxes. Right, I think we're okay in here. I'll just press F to try and activate a flashlight. What have I been playing that has a flashlight? I guess Planet Crafter. Probably. I don't know. Anyway, I think we're done in here. We're done with this room. We're getting there. Yeah, so there, you know, there's blood of virgin. Maybe that's got in there, and you know that's what's caused the whatever's happened to this cursing of this machine. You know, and other things in there. You know, the other things they went through, like, you know, bits of bat and graveyard dust. They're like, you know, these things can't have got into the machine, and this is important because in his what they're aiming towards, they're thinking of not getting a priest. They're going to do the exorcism themselves. That's what they're thinking of. Maybe if there's something in there, let's just do it ourselves. I mean, we're God-fearing people. You and I, Mr. Other Cop. You know, I'm sure it'll be fine. I've got the words right here. We can do this. We'd have to get more authorities involved. That's going to cause more weirdness. If we're wrong, what does it matter? But if we're right, maybe we're doing something good here. But it's important to know what's gone into the machine, because some things are more powerful than others. Blood of a virgin is probably fine, but you don't know really what's in there and what might have been summoned. You don't want to have something really unpleasant, because it could cause problems. Could cause problems, trying to mess around with a demonic entity or whatever it is, if some really powerful things have been put in there. But it's fine. Graveyard dust and stuff like that. And that's what I thought. We can all... This is the point, of course, where we've all, as readers, raised our eyebrow. Really? Nothing's going to go wrong here, obviously. And personally, my thought was it was graveyard dust. And I was thinking, it sounds a little strange, but people who work in graveyards, I mean, that's a municipal job. You'd imagine that they would have some sort of dungarees work uniform, and maybe that got washed in there, and it could be something like that. And that's what's going to be in there. And they're making a terrible mistake here, and that's what's going to catch them out. But it isn't that, because King's a bit cleverer than that. Is there a dead body over here? There is. What happened to you, sir? I dropped my meds. Oh, you kind of fodder, you've ruined it. You've ruined the story. Anyway, well, he hasn't. Anyway, I dropped my meds again. I started taking nightshade for my cramps, and they were the only thing that worked. Now I've got to drop the bottle of machines into the damn sorting machine. It's going to take an eternity to find another batch of them. Indeed. So, of many things that can be considered magical in different places, one of them is belladonna, which I think is also known as something like dead man's hand or something like that as well. It's a poisonous material, plant. And in theory, what's happened in the story is two things have happened. First of all, there bloody well are bats living in this old factory. So blood of bat has got in there at some point, and sometime in the past, one of the ladies working on the machine accidentally dropped someone's. Sorry, I caught my mouse on something now, and I've now slapped this fellow on the floor, making a mess. Has dropped their stomach pills, or stopped one of their colleagues' stomach pills into the machine, and one of the rarer components of these pills happens to be belladonna. So what they've got in there, in this machine, is a whole lot worse than what they think they're dealing with. And so they go in there and do their exorcism for dummies, and omne padre or whatever else that they do to deal with this. And the machine responds by ripping itself out of the ground and going on a rampage. That's right. Oh, there are flares. Oh, that would have been nice. I would like to have had flares. It's a good way to get rid of the paper, isn't it? We know that as experts. Roberta Kilsma, how appropriate, have been done. You think the level's nearly over, but you can't trust him, You can't trust him. What's the trigger for that? Because I've walked past that lots of times. Yeah. Freaking me out. Yeah, so... Oh, God. That was even more scary. There was a demonic red glow from over there. It's the flare, you bloody fool. That's why it's a demonic red glow. Never mind. God, it really freaked me out, though. That red glow, what is wrong? Why am I suddenly so jumpy? Goodness. These spooky stories from Stephen King. Yeah, so the machine tears itself out of the floor, kills one of the cops, and then it ends with the thing stomping its way through the streets, which is what we've heard from the gist of it from some of the notebooks here as well, which I must have missed before. Only because the level's so damn dark. But there you go. There we go. A great story, and very enjoyable. As I say, it definitely felt like one I might have read before. For some reason, it just didn't stick in my mind. I think it's these things where you should definitely reread stories, good stories like that, because at different ages in your life, because how you change through your life and what you think about, even forgetting, like, teenage, which is most certainly when I would have read something like this, teenage versus adult. because, you know, I think you think about things a bit more, and you consider things a bit more deeply when you're older. It's not nothing against, you know, it's not saying that older people are better than younger people. It's just the thing, and you know, not everyone's the same, but thought processes are different at different ages, and older people can be more introspective, and that applies to stories as well. So I find that things that maybe I still enjoyed at whatever age, I've got a different take on them now that I'm older. Well, I'm 64. Not quite. No. I'm old. I'm not that old. Okay, so how are we doing here? We've got a few more things down here. This room in here, the canteen areas. But of course, the question. This is why I would love to have read the story before, because I would have pieced it together more as we went through. You know, that would have been nice. I do enjoy doing that. Where do these rocks come from? Where are these stones come from? Are they rubbish? Possibly. Maybe oh, goodness. Put these back up again. There we go. Refreshing. Even I'm extremely buff, that's a refreshingly light filing cabinet. Paper stored in big lumps. Incredibly heavy, funnily enough. I'm warning you. You're just playing with me now. I think I like him, I tell you. Right, what does this one say? Since last week, the sorting machine has been, let's say, hungry. There have been 3 incidents beforehand, things getting into the machine that shouldn't have. Since then, it's growling, and has started to sort of pull, dragging the workers' limbs of the machine. You'll have to call the area manager and see if we can get some help to fix the problem. Indeed, yeah. Summon the area manager who's been eaten here. It's funny as well, because I thought the people in here might have been safe in these rooms. Obviously, we've found bodies in these rooms. Because we can okay, so we can tell what the machine is. In a minute, that's not going to work. What are you doing? Because I know I didn't bring a light in here. Sorry. What's this? Ooh, nice radiogram of some sort. Yeah, because there's another one of the machines downstairs. So we can go and have a look at that in a minute. I see something else on the floor there. Let's take this collection of rubbish here. I did. A cup. An errant polystyrene cup. Another evil of the world. Just to be polluting the environment. Microplastics. Getting into our indigestion and everything else. Right, we'll come back for you, suitcase. Briefcase. Ah! Yeah, so I do like to piece together the bits and pieces as I go through other stories. But it didn't happen here, unfortunately. Never mind. Did it retrospectively. So, over here... I didn't wonder why this was sparking before, didn't I? This is the machine I think we're talking about here, but not this one, because this one's fine. You're just fine, aren't you? My good boy. Yes, you behave yourself. This, I presume, is like a grinding machine. It had bits of machinery over here, and I think they were feeding scrap through from there. And presumably this was one of those machines right here. We had a body lying here. So at some point, you know, the priest, I presume, came down here and tried to do the give the sacrament or whatever he was doing. I know nothing about priests or things like that. Unfortunately, the thing then proceeded to tear itself out of the ground and go stomping through. And in fact, you can see... Oh, I thought it had 4 feet. It's got 2 feet. Look. It must be like pivoting from leg to leg. Boom, 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 boom. That's why I thought it's so big. Would it be able to squeeze through the doorways? But I guess it's actually quite narrow. And in fact... Oh, we'll do that in a minute with the offices. But, you know, this thing must have gone stomping around. The priest wasn't here. Presumably completely consumed. I don't know. But the thing went running out through here, and someone else got gotten here, didn't they? And then the thing was running up the stairs, and presumably from upstairs, people were working up in the main room from there, and then they, you know, someone came over here to, what the heck's going on? And I presume what should we call the machine? Brian came around the corner and simply, leaned upwards and chewed the man into chunky salsa, leaving only his legs that were lying here. I seem to remember, chewed him up and he went stomping off down here. And I thought these people in here would be, let's get another bin, would be relatively safe. But in fact, it'll actually be even worse than that, because good boy for not giving us any organs. If that machine's quite narrow, I mean, if it could get into the office like this here... Oh, I've got the briefcase, I forgot about that. Come here, you. Yeah, if you were in a room here thinking you were safe... Oh no, because the thing would turn sideways and come in like a bloody mechanical crocodile, growling and tearing, gears winding, chewing up everything in sight and then spraying it out the back end like a terribly incontinent dog or crocodile or something. I don't know. So yeah, you wouldn't be safe in this room either. That'd be quite horrifying, wouldn't it? Yeah, but also what was good about the story, there was a suggestion of blood and guts and things from there, but the things that were being seen in the story were not. They were horrifying. They were to the point of being horrifying that they didn't want to be considered by the people viewing it, like the cop. And the cop is feeling, a hardened policeman is feeling nauseated by what he's seen. So the story is actually not that graphic. The things are being suggested at, but there's no graphical statement about what exactly is happening is required, which is very good. That's again the skill of the writer, isn't it? The fact that you don't need to say every bloody detail and gory detail. A suggestion to the horror is more than enough. This kitchen is disgusting, by the way. Oh my goodness, it's like something out of Resident Evil. Yeah, gruesome chopping block of a kitchen. In the kitchen, what is that work surface? I mean, I've seen some horrible work surfaces before. Now, I guess it's a stone finish, isn't it? Really, rather than it's pretty unpleasant looking. Well, we'll take these down and we'll put the rest in the bin here. So I've got a bunch of lasering to do, and I have. Health and safety. I've been told to dispose of all materials. Let's get rid of this as well. Can we open this? No. 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 You never know. You never know. Okay, we'll dispose of all this lot. Oh, for goodness sake. See, new people to the game might think that's some sort of possession matter. No, it's just the weird glitchiness of objects in bins. So you just behave yourselves, crisp packets. Wish I'd saved some flares for you. Never mind. Yeah, get the lasering done and we'll start to fill up these medical thingies, and then need to start doing spot checks of the area. Oh, I forgot about these weird demonic growths as well. I was worried for a second there thinking, oh, graffiti. It's been a while since I have to clean these up. Just lazy with these. That's not too bad. The other thing I was doing... Oh, this... Am I going to get away with it? I think I am. Yeah, the other thing that happened last time was that I was being negative about Game of Thrones. And Aki said to me, What are you talking about, man? You're being so rude about it, this game. What the hell are you talking about? Because that's the sort of voice that I'm imagining when I'm Aki messages me. I don't know, some sort of channeling some sort of terrible version of Bones out of Star Trek. What are you talking about, man? I don't know. That's just what comes into my head when he's haranguing me like that. He wasn't haranguing me. I'm joking, but he was telling me off. He's like, what are you talking about? Game of Thrones. It's really, why are you being so negative about it? And you know what? So I did. Maybe you're right. The idea of rereading things. So I did reread the original, first volume of Game of Thrones, and I didn't like it. But there you go. That's just how it is. So I don't know why I didn't. I just didn't. I didn't enjoy it very much. I'm sure I've got more stuff down here. Never mind. But moving on to the second one, Clash of Kings. I did enjoy that. So I'm glad that I did that, because I didn't do that last time. I'm glad I went as far as doing that. It's just a matter of, Yeah, there we go. I wasn't sure how hard it was to do these. Yeah, so I did go as far as reading. I didn't get as far as reading Clash of Kings last time. I read Clash of Kings, and that's what I wanted. That's the book that had the detail that I wanted. That I said I was lacking from the first book. And you come back. You devil. So I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did go as far as, coming back to that. And I guess the issue for me was maybe that I need another bucket. I'm sure I'll make more soot marks. It's fine. We'll come back to it. In writing the first book, sometimes the first book of a series isn't so good. I guess it depends on how the author has designed something. I mean, you might be trying to do a lot with the first, in what you know is going to be a series of books. You've got to set up a lot of characters, set up the world, set up the situation, and I don't know, the way it was done was it was too lacking for me in certain details, but that's fine. I'm really enjoying the second book, and I'll keep on going with the others, and I am getting the detail and the thoughts of characters it's just not possible to convey via television or film. I want to know what's going through their heads and their thoughts and dreams without having them have to say it to somebody for us to be able to get the message of what's going through their minds. I mean, what do you like on a daily basis? I'm going to make a guess that you... are there any more marks on here? I don't think so. Oh, there's another... Yeah, I was about to say there's more gruesome demonic stuff there. I mean, you might be different, but I would lay reasonable odds that some of you watching will be spend as much time just thinking things through in your own head as you do actually talking to someone throughout the day, not necessarily articulating your thoughts. Though that's becoming less and less true now with people doing more with social media, the urge to just tell everybody everything. The instant a thought comes into your head, stick it on a post. Probably not you lot. I think you lot are probably not quite the same as that, but certainly lots of people do that kind of thing. I'm making lots of assumptions about you here. Sorry if I'm wrong. Again, it's me. Remember, this is all me articulating thoughts in my head. Yeah, just blurting them out. I'm as much a victim of it as anybody else. So I heard a strange boom there. It's a strange... just acoustics, I think, is a bit weird. I just tend to blurt things out as well through this medium, but not necessarily on things like Twitter or anything like that. Which is fine if you're me. If you're someone famous, then that's a good way to not edit your thoughts before you put them out in the world. It's a good way to look pretty stupid. Me, doesn't matter if I look stupid. It's kind of a given. Right, how are we doing in here? I was also wondering about how this actually ended, because so in the short story we know that oops, it's strange. Why is there a... we'll deal with it in a second. I'm missing another suitcase as well somewhere. I'll check it down here. God damn it, it's so dark. I need to find another light. The story ends in the book with the machine rampaging through the streets. We can draw our own conclusions about what happens later. But what happens in this story? Don't worry about you in a minute. Blocks of concrete. You know, how does this one end? And who put these posters? Oh, it's boards, not posters. The windows? Stop it getting out, or to stop? I don't know. Anyway. I'm going to have a high old time fighting all this mess that I've just made on the wall. Never mind. Never mind. A little bit mop everywhere. Yeah, so there are bits of machine lying around all over the place. So I don't know if it actually got escaped or not, or the bits of machine lying around are actually... Are they fragments of just general rubbish in the place? Because it's a scrap metal place? What do they do with the laser? Something stupid, I'm sure. Or has the machine actually been destroyed? I mean, has it been lured into here and somehow broken up with the lasers or something like that? I don't know. And didn't we find a skinned body hanging up in that room as well? I mean, how did that get there? Did they like try to climb up onto the thing and well, this is going to be gruesome, but the machine sort of leapt up and while they were hanging on, skinned them? Is that possible? I really hope not. Please don't have that haunting my dreams at night. I don't know. I don't know if the machine actually got out or not. I mean, is that rust or blood? That's rust. It had a free run to get out. Look, you know, what it did was run down here. You know, had it been charging between the offices and then got lured into here to be finished by somebody, you know, managed to say the exorcism properly, or simply smashed it with a laser. Is it easy to destroy a machine that's been possessed by an evil thing like that? You know, is it gonna rebuild itself and get back up again if you try to do something that would normally smash a machine to pieces? You know, it doesn't work because the demonic energies are holding it together. Who knows? Don't mind. I don't mind. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered if I don't know. I like stories where there's no definite ending. I was displaying that to my one of my kids once when I was reading their bedtime story. I remember them asking that, you know, there's no end to it. I want to know what happens next. And I was like, well, that's a sign of a grown-up story. It's, you don't always know the end, just like in life and everything else. You don't know how the next thing is not written yet. I'm watching you, machine. You don't know what's going to happen next. You can't always have a neatly tied up ending. That's typically the sign of a kid's story. Well, a general kid's story. Depends on who you're reading. You reading Neil Gaiman? Well, you're on your own, pal, because who knows? And some of the Roald Dahls as well. Aha! They've been up around. Right, okay. So, I need to load the safety thingies with medical units. But I think while I'm doing that, I'll be scanning around with the sniffer. Looking pretty good so far. At least as far as the biologicals are going. We'll find out if these bricks need to be dropped or not. Yeah. Doesn't mean I haven't missed a blood spatter somewhere. I think we're okay. Yes, sadly the rubble has to go. Which again, I'm not too surprised by. At least we can throw things on the floor now without making a mess. But never mind. Maybe these are the only things. We can hope so. Right, it took me a while. I'd managed to make a dent on the floor in one of my cleanups, I think, of the big monster footprints. I think otherwise we're okay now. I'm getting readings from down there because of the skull. But there's something in here somewhere, I think. Why don't you bring a light in, you fool? Maybe that'll help. There's like a bit of paper or something in here, maybe. I don't think it's in the other room. I think it's in here. Yeah, I see it. It's a bottle. Okay, and other than that, we've got the skull is registering that I've swiped. I think we're done, you know. I can get out of here. Good, it's not a harder level. Not too many boxes, much stacking. The reason why that's a mess, very dark. I've now just lost the bottle I put down. Where's it gone? Round the back? It's there. Hasn't rolled as far as I thought. I think we're done now. Yeah, a very reasonable level. Very good. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. I enjoyed it a great deal. I think we've done all the PIDs already. A few nice little jumpy bits here and there. Little jump trigger events. We'll do our usual of saving. And then getting out of here. And I'm almost certainly missed something. But that's okay. I don't mind too much. And a bit of trash somewhere apparently. Oh, you know, whatever. Whatever game, it's fine. Only 100%. Which is not great, is it really? I left anything else around? No. I don't think it's slightly more than 100%. But I didn't. I guess I've left a bit of rubbish somewhere. Maybe that bottle hadn't quite burnt up in the thing. That's entirely possible too. But we're done. We're done. A great level, and I'm going to do some more of these again in the future. I know I promised I will, but I will. I'm away on holiday for about 10 days in the fairly near future. Come here, Boney. Very clean, very nice and shiny. Get you down here, along with the other random junk. Oh, got a glow around it. I guess you can sort of pick up a bit like a crystal skull. It's because you can pick it up. That's why it's illuminating, I think, lighting up. But the border around the edge is quite large. Anyway, I'm going to be on holiday for a while, so I won't be able to do much in the way of videos. But as soon as I get back, I will do so. I've already got another level lined up. One of AJ's ones. One of Janitor's levels. It was indicated might be a good one. And you know what fun they always are. So, thanks for watching. Take care of yourself. And I shall hope I shall see you again in the future. What? Left the dark black scorch marks on the station. That's a kind of an odd message. I don't think I've ever got this one before. That's very weird. Obviously I left some stains somewhere as well. I'm getting more and more sloppy in my old age. But never mind. Take care of yourself. I shall see you again next time.